and welcome. We're the team at Vendor Society and we're sharing bite-sized vendor tips and ideas in our interview series. I'm Dani Thompson, the Senior Marketing Manager at Vendor Society and eCommerce Nurse, and I'm here today with Rob Murray, one of our client managers. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Dani.
So in this segment, we're going to talk about the importance of building all Amazon fees into your profitability calculations, whether you're moving from seller to vendor, exploring your margins, or taking a hard look at your range before a peak selling period. This conversation may benefit your brand on Amazon. So Rob has managed vendors of all sizes on Amazon and is well equipped to discuss this topic with me today. So let's dive in with 5 questions on this topic. So question number 1, Rob, it's a basic one to start. As we hear about COGS, margins, and other terms, what is profitability to an Amazon vendor, and what should vendors be looking at when they calculate it?
Sure, it's quite simply the ability to make a profit. And it is actually surprising how often this requirement is overlooked. So most Amazon vendors are already dealing with other business-to-business customers, and your price file creation for Amazon should really start out the same. But you'll also need to take into consideration any additional fees that Amazon charges you as part of your contract. And also, if you're a pan-EU vendor, then you need to ensure you take into consideration the cost of shipping to those other countries within their specific catalog pricing as well.
So as a one-piece supplier, Amazon, what fees are the important ones to look at when you're calculating? What are the ones that can't be missed?
Yes, so specifically in relation to fees from Amazon, you'll have to agree a percentage rebate that Amazon invoice you against your COGS report within the operations dashboard. You'll need to take that into account when you're creating your Amazon price file. And if you're paying ad hoc for things like, say, returns, for instance, and you haven't agreed a percentage rebate for that, you'll want to factor in a percentage for that based on your historic returns rate.
Are there any fees that are often overlooked? Are there any that can add up really fast if you don't keep a close eye on them that you commonly see?
Yeah, if you're selling to other trade customers, you'll realize quite quickly that when you start out with Amazon, in comparison, in some cases, it takes a specifically trained team to process Amazon POs for shipping. So, for instance, if there are regular discrepancies between confirmed PO information that Amazon receives via the EDI or the portal and the actual stock received by Amazon, you'll start to see chargebacks appear within your account. And these can build up quite quickly. So it's a good idea to schedule regular reviews of your operational performance dashboard to ensure that everything's being processed correctly and, where necessary, act really quickly on any notifications that you receive there.
So that's on Amazon. Let's talk about things that impact profitability outside of the Amazon fees. Any tips?
Yeah, absolutely. Cost of shipping is a big one. I mentioned that before in relation to pan-EU shipping, for instance. Administration time, so the time it takes to actually process the orders, stock reworks, if you need to include bagging or relabeling for any of your products. So all of those can take vendors by surprise, and you might decide you want to factor those costs into your price file for Amazon. You may also decide to build a buffer into your pricing where possible, as it's quite difficult to get a price increase through at a later date. And last of all, if it's not profitable to sell it to Amazon, then I'd really suggest skipping that product and moving on to the next one. It does really take a lot of work to create a good Amazon listing, so being really strategic about what you list within your vendor catalog. And if you're tight for time, focus at least on products that are already popular within your catalog outside of Amazon in order of cash profit.
Long gone are the days where you just list everything on Amazon and hope for the best. A personal question to end. What's your favorite chargeback and what can it do to profitability?
For sure. I mean, no chargebacks are my favorite, but there are some which have caught vendors out in the past that I've worked with. Bagging fees, for instance, which, depending on the value of the product you're selling, can really take a hit to your cash profit and profitability. So if you're selling liquids or textiles, for instance, and Amazon decides the products needs to be bagged to protect their warehouse, protect the consumers from leaks or damage, they'll charge you per unit to bag that product. So you'll want to resolve that as quickly as possible. If you can prove the product you sell is compliant already, you can raise a case to dispute it. But if Amazon requirements have been overlooked by you when uploading the product, you might want to consider reworking the stock in-house to help reduce those ongoing fees. Raise a case to Amazon as well after that to confirm you've updated the way you ship the product in. Ideally, of course, you'll create your product packaging in a way that is already compliant with Amazon policies to help avoid any future issues, chargebacks. Consider, for instance, double sealing liquids containers, pre-wrapped textiles, for instance, and that kind of thing.
Thank you for your time, Rob.
Thank you, Dani.
Thank you for listening to the Vendor Society interview series by eCommerce Nurse. We are an e-commerce agency specialising in account management, marketing and consulting for vendors and sellers on Amazon and beyond. For more interviews, roundtables, blogs and information about all of our services, visit vendorsociety.com and ecommercenurse.com.